Next week, graphic evidence why you should watch what you're eating. The national alert about dangerous metal and plastic in food off supermarket shelves.
Just not good enough.
Glass, we've seen plastic, we've seen metal fragments.
It's right through the centre, a large piece of metal. I'm just not sure if the kids have sort of eaten it.
They're all responsible because there should be quality control measures in place.
It's unforgivable.
That story and more next week on Today Tonight. A loaf of bread is laced with thick metal pieces. Tonight, our food standards scandal. Meat, chicken, bread and tinned food. See why one product a week is now being forced off our shelves. What you can't afford to buy. The property vultures chasing flood victims, buying homes for half price. Plus the video the government doesn't want you to see. An army insider breaks ranks and goes public to stop this. And exploding family barbecues, why thousands are now ticking time bombs. Good evening, I'm Matt White and thanks for your company on Today Tonight. First, to the growing concern about slipping food safety standards. A product every week is removed from shop shelves. Unsuspecting shoppers who assume what they buy is safe to eat are finding dangerous foreign items like chunks of metal, slivers of wood, plastic, even rusty nails in their food. James Thomas reports on the national alert on falling food standards.
It's unforgivable.
You could choke on it and die.
And surprised he was. Matt Ravino got much more than he paid for.
It's still a bit surreal now because it wasn't just a piece, it was 3 pieces of metal and one being really large.
After doing the weekly shop at his local supermarket, Matt took out the loaf of bread to make some sandwiches.
We had the bread and went back to sort of check out what was going on, and there was just, it was right through the centre, a large piece of metal. It's surprising that a company as big as Aldi doesn't have better controls on their products.
There were 3 pieces of metal baked into the loaf, one of them 4 centimetres in length.
I'm not sure if the kids have eaten any metal at all. That's probably the hardest thing about it because my wife got some in hers, there was some in the rest of the loaf. And being multi-grain bread, I'm just not sure if the kids have sort of eaten it thinking it was some seeds or something.
When Matt took the bread back to Aldi to complain, the manager was keen to take it off his hands.
He'd offered me my $1.80 refund, which I initially refused, and then he was pretty adamant that I sort of take that, so I did. He'd asked me if I wanted some more bread, and yeah, to be honest, I just don't want to go back there.
It looks like it's a part of machinery or part of the factory. It's fallen apart or it's come loose and has managed to go through the slicing blades and managed to get through, baked into the dough and get all the way through to the supermarket.
Nationally, one food item is recalled or pulled from the shelves every week. Food safety expert Gary Kennedy says 1/4 of the recalls are for dangerous foreign objects being found in the food. If a retailer is found to be selling a recalled product, they could face fines of up to $500,000, but the cost to us can be much higher.
Number one is if it's big enough and you don't realise it's there, you can choke on it. Your second thing is it's something that's sharp, like metal that's gone through a slicer or glass, it can shred you on the way down as well.
And crunch, and I thought I've broken my tooth. But I spat it out and I've looked and it was glass.
Glass, metal, nails, cockroaches and even cigarette butts can end up in our food.
Well, I bought the pies approximately about a month ago. I had eaten 2 of them prior to me eating, one last Sunday. It was just at the local supermarket and I sat down to eat one and lo and behold, I was halfway through the pie and there I found a screw.
Beverly Donner knows what it's like to bite down on something unfamiliar.
It was a 1.5 centimetre long screw with about a 1 centimetre head. It was definitely covered in rust. You could clearly see the rust on it.
This sort of thing should never happen. Obviously, there has been a breakdown of systems and quality control. For consumers to be put in a place where they have foreign products in their food is not acceptable.
Ingrid Joost from Choice advises anyone who finds a foreign object in their food to firstly take photos and then return it to the place of purchase and seek compensation.
The retailer, the manufacturer, the local food authority, they're all responsible because there should be quality control measures in place to ensure that products are safe and edible for consumers.
We approached Audi for comment. A short time later, the bread manufacturer announced a recall of Baker's Life, Falcones, Aussie Farmers and Friendly Grocer Sliced Bread. In a statement, Audi said,
"As a result of an isolated incident of foreign matter in one of our bread products, Aldi has worked closely with the supplier who has voluntarily removed all stock from sale of 3 products in our stores in New South Wales and the ACT.
As for Matt, he intends to save his money in other areas in the future.
Audi, it's not good enough. You put my family, my wife at risk. The kids have more than likely eaten it, and it's unacceptable.
It's James Thomas reporting, and there are more details on how to report foreign items that you find in your food on our